All right, I'm gonna recap and add in a new addition to the GTA for PlayStation 2. Um, uh, uh, San Andreas GTA Grand Theft Auto. All right, it had all these different components in it. The green goo is the last mission that you had to use with the truth. And after you get this, you got to steal it from an army train. And he gets it and he runs off and he goes, "This is gonna change everything." And it's like that's one thing. And look, actually, green goo is out there as well, dude. I've seen it. It's the stuff you can lace gloves or metal with, and it changes the molecular compound or composition of it. So black goo must be something else, but there's green goo as well, and that was in the game. Okay, talk radio was one of the stations in the game, and now that's all I listen to on the internet. A lot of internet documentary type things or talk shows are actually just talk radio, like Freedom Frequency Radio. Like there's a lot of great hosts from that network. Let's think the Face Like the Sun, Kev Baker, Popeye, um, and Skiba I think was even involved with that. I'm not sure if he still is. So it's like it's a lot of people on that network there that really kick ass. That reminds me of the game. Just listen to the shows too. It always gives me this good feeling. I know it's a guilty vice of mine is Grand Theft Auto video game. Uh, but there's conspiracies throughout it. All right, let me check another one. There's an episode where or a mission that you actually drop a plane and crash it into the Hoover Dam. I mean, there's strange hieroglyphs around or statues around it that look like Mothman or like ISIS or something. Kind of strange. That's in the game. Zombie tech is in this game. Where so it basically broadcasts some kind of zombie activity. It also shows how corrupt the police are, and it also has a form of kind of like coercion by the CIA, where they employ street operatives. Basically, I'm not sure. Let me think. Another part of it. It talks about the corporations moving in. The fascists moved into uh, Nevada. Basically, it says in the game. It alludes to in the game, which is pretty. There's a lot of accurate stuff. This dude, the truth, through the game, he talks a lot of like crazy stuff. Once during the game, it says, "You ever heard of the New World Order?" So it says that in the game. It also has this Epsilon cult, which I'm not sure if it's Scientology that it's a knockoff of. I mean, it even has graveyards in the game, and the graveyard has an obelisk in the middle of it in a reflecting pool. So it's Isis and Baal basically. The penis is or the phallus is Baal. The circular fountain around it is the wet Virginia. Virginia. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just it's in the game. As you know, that's in the game. Chemtrails are in the game. You'll see these things go by and they'll leave chemtrails. I mean, that's freaking insane. But what was the new one? Uh, Here's another thing they had in the game. There's certain missions where you can go with the camera. Like if you go to a certain spot at a certain area, there'll be a rainbow, and if you catch the camera, you get 1 out of 100 different hidden photos. Like there'll be another building, you can go from this cliff and look at this building and take a picture of it, and it looks like a pair of boobs, kind of like there's a nuclear station that looks like a pair of boobs over there in Cali for real. And then what was weird, it was just showing a new Dearborn campus, and the layout of it. I'd seen a post, a meme on Facebook from this Flint Stunner thing, and it looked exactly like the fucking campus on the game, dude. It was really strange. The spot where you can take a picture of the boobs, uh, that are it's a building, but I mean that's like real life. Real life, they do like just like the Washington Monument and then the reflecting pool. I mean, it's the same thing as in the graveyard in the game, which is just strange. Like I'm saying, like the conspiracy is deep and it's in everything, and in a way they kind of all right. There's a documentary called it's called uh Back to the Future Decoded, and it talks about the significance of this observatory building in Cali. And there's a cult there in the game, but this place has got this crazy pendulum, gyromagnetic machine, and there's a tunnel under it, and it's about ascension. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's in the game. But back to this taking these pictures. There was a time, there was a video where they were saying, if you see something, say something. Look, this was predictive programming in the game. That if you see something, say something. And it says, if you see anyone taking photos out in public of public areas, it says, call the FBI, your local FBI, Joint Task Force Division branch, the FLETC division. Basically, and it was in the game. Like it was showing you, it's like there's gonna be people running around with cameras taking pictures of weird shit, and this is really what's going on now because there's like people catching chemtrails. There's people taking pictures of weird architecture with Illuminati symbolism. There's people taking pictures of everything right now. So, in a way, it's like that's the new weapon of the truther movement is the camera. Because if you get it on camera, it's undeniable whatever it is you're seeing. I mean, what it is, how it was set up, or if it was just random and it just happened to, you should be able to tell the difference between a hoax and legit footage that kind of like those footage where they kept having black people getting shot. But dude, I think those were just crisis actors, and it was just a public infuriation op. And even at the end of the game, dude, on San Andreas, you're basically in martial law, and the whole city's on fire, smoking. There's no police. Everyone's running around like it's Armageddon, which is quite strange as well. That's broadcasted in the game, but now with smartphones. See, and this is pre-smartphone. So, I mean, look, zombie tech, the Hoover Dam, the fascists took over gambling in Nevada, the green goo, this is going to change that. Oh, and you steal a jetpack, and you steal planes, fucking, and, like military planes, and fucking, in the game. This is all in the game. Let me say that one more time. So I'm not talking about real stuff. I'm just talking about the game and how it's so outlandish, but yet again, then looking at it, it's actually they're telling you the truth in such a way that seems so outlandish. You dismiss it. But really what it is, it's designed in such a way to slip into your subconscious so that it desensitizes you to when you see a real zombie tech. And look, there's naked people jumping in cars like zombies now. There is talk radio all over YouTube, man. And I mean, it's awesome that it is. I mean, and it sounds a lot like the shit from the game, man. I mean, it's just, I know that sounds real strange. And this dude, I remember, he said, after I was telling him the same thing, this was like 7 years ago, he was like, and they say video games don't brainwash people. I mean, in a way, it does. But it's worse when you don't know what's going on. But when you go back through it knowing with the new lens to see it, it's almost like it's good to reveal to others that things are decodable and that it's substantiatable and confirmable that there is connections. And you can follow the connections like way up and way down, man. I mean, they're linked up everywhere. So, I mean, once the sublims don't work anymore, now you're aware and you see it everywhere. It's like, I mean, it's powerful. You know what I'm saying? There's a that's transformative of you. That's like to the scales to fall off your eyes. And it takes, it's like the scales sometimes don't just fall off. You gotta keep trying to see to the point where you get through the veil. I mean, you might not be, you still might have, some like it might not be a totally clear picture, but the fact that, hey, I'm seeing things beyond the veil now, you know what I'm saying? That's a good thing. I hate when people try to say, what does all this symbolism and all this stuff got to do with anything? Well, it's exposing the work of darkness, because this was done in such a way. It was done like it's right out in the light, but yet since you're in darkness, you see it and you can't discern that's what it is. And then therefore you're kind of a slave, an ignorant, illiterate slave to these things. But now I can speak the language of them that are perched over us. You know what I'm saying?